First thing in your project, package.json indeed. Package.json, there it is. Curly brackets, dependencies, there it is, and we're done. Next thing, let's not Rails. Let's go to desktop and let's go to MessageBoard. There's the package.json file. Cool. npm install express -- save. BJS -- save. Body parser -- save. Whoops.
You said parsers.
Many parsers.
All the parsers.
Mongoose. I think that's it, right? Cool. All right. Let's create another file, which is going to be the server.js file, which is going to run the server. There it is, and let's run nodemon on server.js. There it is, and then also run mongod, which run. Whoops, that was wrong. Which runs the server. There it is. Cool. So Mongo server is running on one tab, Node server is running on another tab. Let's set the library. Oops. Express library goes here. Let's set app variables equal to express library executed, so returns the object. And what else do we need? We're going to need a static folder. We're going to need EJS templating engine. So is it used for the templating engine? Set app.set. Let's set view engine to use the EJS engine, and let's set the views folder to become the current directory name plus views folder file path from our current file path. So MessageBoard, create a new folder called views, and there it is. Let's also do the static folder, app.views, right, for static, express dot static, is that right? Ooh, is that right?
Express.static, then app.join.
That's right, cool, thank you. Their name plus the current directory, which is views folder. Is that all we need for that one? Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. Let's create this folder real quick. We're gonna call it static since we called it. Whoa, I misspelled that. Or I put views here. It should be static. Use for body parser as well, right? Okay, so first let's load the library body parser. Actually, I'm gonna do it in line. Body parser is equal to require body parser, and then app.use body parser dot extended URL extended. No, extended URL. Oh. Encoded. Thank you.
URL encoded. Yes.
That looks great. Extended true is here, right? Cool. There's the body parser. There's a static folder setting up. Here's my view folder set up. What else? We are going to require Mongoose, so require the Mongoose library. Define it Mongoose is equal to Mongoose library, and we'll work with that in just a minute here. So let's set a get request for root directory, callback function, request object, response object, respond.render. Let's render the index page in our views folder. So views folder, index.ejs, plain text, let's change that to HTML. one. Nope. So this is index, and we should be able to get this page loaded right now. So let's try. Localhost 1337. Oh, right. What do we not do? Something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops. Awesome. It's working. It says index over there. That's what I set it to, but just to make sure. There it is. Cool. So this is going to be some HTML here, unfortunately. So let's see. MessageBoard, and then, okay, so Dojo message board, horizontal ruler. The Dojo message board. It's interesting. Name, oh, this is the one we have to just type in the name and message and just sends it, right? So it's kind of like a simplified message board.
What's that sheet to do the little bar across the top?
HR.
HR?
Yeah, just HR, one HR with no
Like a
closing.
BR. So the HR.
Horizontal ruler or something like that. So we should have here input, text, name is going to be name, and that's going to be inside a form. Method is post. Oops. Yeah, action is slash messages, creating a new message. So we're going to action is going to go to slash messages path. Cool. And we will have also another input. I guess that's a text area, right? Name is going to be message. So we have the name and we have the message keys, and that should give us the two input blocks, name, message key. Let's add a style sheet in our style or our static folder to make sure that's working. And to require that, what do we need? Just style.css, right? Because it's in the static folder, so we can just request that file. And just to make sure that's working, let's do this. There we are. So it's working. A few more quick things. Let's give it a sec. I guess that's one input. Let's make input block elements. So there we go. And our message board. Let's get a button. This is post message. There it is. Okay, cool. So this is going to give us all the messages. For each message, we'll get comments and etc. Okay, so we can also double check to make sure that EJS is working by just using the EJS tags, saying 5 plus 5, 10. EJS is working, and it would anyways because it's extended, or the file name is .ejs. So if it wasn't working, it wouldn't even be loading the file. Cool. So that part is done. That part is not going to be replicated, but the content afterwards will be replicated, which is name, message, name, comment, etc. Okay, good enough. So let's get a div here, and let's have label name, and message, and then we'll put the message right here. So name, message, that should be repeated. So this whole block of code should be repeated. We should see that real quick. There it is, name, message, message, cool. And then inside of each one of these, at the end of that message, we should have comments. So I'm create another div here for the comment. And it'll be like the same thing. Name, comment. class comment, class message. Who doesn't love CSS? Does anyone?
It's stupid.
Oh, it's the best thing ever. Is it messages? Is that what I said? Messages, comments. Okay. Margin left, 50 pixels. Whoops. Messages. There you go. Good enough. Here's our messages. For each message, here's the comments. And actually, we need one more thing, right? We need this little input box for each at the end of each comment. So this is a block of comments, but at the end of this block of comments, we should have a form that looks like this form. That's going to print each one comment. So comment and the name. That's it. Oops, wrong one, refreshing. All right, that's not good. Let's put that inside of that. Any questions? Are you sure? All right. Let's keep going. So we have our HTML. That's great. And so let's start. We require the Mongoose library, but let's define the schema that we're going to be using. Let's connect to Mongoose first, and then let's require the schema and design it, and then we can start using it. So is mongoose.connect? If you guys don't mind, just help me out with this one. Is it was it MongoDB // localhost? Is that it?
/ whatever you want the database.
Got it. So MessageBoard schema. Cool. So Mongoose. Let's see. So that should work, but let's just go here and make sure that we are connecting, and accept it. We are connecting. Cool. So how do we create the schema? Is it mongoose.schema? Does that look right? I might have to look at my old notes.
Yeah, it is.
That's right.
Mongoose.schema. Well, it's mongoose.schema, but we set it equal to a variable schema. So it would be like var schema equals mongoose.schema. And
So user schema is equal to mongoose schema, and then the user, right? And then this kind of thing, type string.
Well, because it's you have to do one thing, you got the schema, right? You have to send long schema equal to mongoose.schema. Because you have to have a join. Right? You have to do the schema first. Var, the global schema.
Isn't that it?
Yeah. Because you have to do the join. So you can't declare for this one specifically. It's a one-dimensional.
What? I'm getting lost
So
here.
you do var schema equals mongoose.schema above that line.
yeah, and then it goes to schema,
And
and
then you're
then
gonna-
a comment.
And that's going to be your object.
That's going to be the schema, right? Isn't this it?
And then you're just going to close that using that state schema.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah. What's different than they use? That's what you use.
All right, we'll go with this. Go with this one. So name, object type string, message type string.
What's the difference between doing the object with the type and just saying the string after the name colon?
This thing being object. Hold on, let me just look at my old notes because I'm not following here.
Sorry. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, I screwed up. Sorry, that's my fault. That's gonna go away. Yeah, new Mongoose schema. Got it. Okay, cool. So it's not gonna be product though. It's gonna be message. And that message will have a name, and we'll have the message. And we can create it and update it. Why not? The message is string. The name is string. Required true on both. So if it's not valid, then if it doesn't come up, then we'll get a validation error.
Okay, so that's why you're putting in an object.
Yeah, to add more than one.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So that's a message schema. Let's create another schema as well. Wait 1 second. So we create a message schema. We also need to save that into Mongoose, right? So Mongoose is it model, and then the name of it, such as message, and then message schema. Is that right? Awesome. And then the same thing for the other one, right? Mongoose.model comment is the comment schema, which we're going to create here. Comment schema. That's going to have the name. It's going to have the message ID, and it's going to have the comment, right? What's that? We should use the trim all the time, actually. I'm not using it here, am I? So here's the thing, when we do validations, what we should really be using is like some kind of validator like Mongoose validator. But we'll get more in depth on that in Angular, actually. But trim is a good idea. We should use trim. Is it just comma trim? Is that it?
It's true.
Okay.
Colon true, I think.
Yeah, right. Cool. Trim gets, anybody want to explain that? Just
Gets rid of the white space before and after.
That's it.
These are the white space
So,
where-
Before and after the content is entered.
so what?
So if you did like enter your email Charlie@email.com, it would just give Charlie@email.com rather than the spaces that I put in.
Ignores the spaces.
So do you
It
not
ignores the
use
spaces.
a fair Mongoose fair schema with Mongoose?
we will use that, yeah.
You
We
do.
will. Mhm. So this part is saving it in the Mongoose model, and then from another page we could just require it again. So I try to do them separately, not because it's more efficient, it's not more efficient, but just so you can see them separated. So
Yeah, you don't need that.
var schema is equal
If
to
you're
Mongoose.
doing- If you're doing new Mongoose.schema, above that, don't you have to define Mongoose.schema?
Well, you've already required Mongoose.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that's the
They
difference.
asked us to do,
I don't know.
so
if
you
you
can
need to
enter
draw-
that Mongoose as.
And then this is going to be just schema?
No, you
No,
keep
it's still
it the way you have it.
Mongoose schema.
Really? There's on there?
That's
That's
how
what
they
they
do
asked
it.
us
Unless
to
you
do.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll make a little adjustment on that.
Okay.
I don't know why we don't need that. We don't need that.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what's
Got it. I see. Yeah, we don't need that. We got the model for the message. We got the model for the comment. And that's it. So we have them. It should work. Hopefully nothing blew up. Oh, something did blow up. No, comma trim true. Comma. There we go. Everything's still good. Okay, cool. So how should we start this? Should we start this by just adding? In general, what we do is we already have data in the database, and then we just populate it, and then we add more to it, right? That's kind of like the general idea. Like you always have data in the database already, but because it would take me a while to type out each one of those in the terminal, in the Mongo shell, let's just add them for the first thing. Like the first thing we'll do is just add a new message in the database, so we can just add it on there and just see it. So let's go here and let's look at this message right here. Do we need anything? Is there anything depending upon who we add? Like, do we need any other information besides the information they type in for us? Nope. We have their name and their message, right? Okay. So I should be able to type in a name and a message, hit post, and that should go to /messages. So we know that the request we need here is a GET request. Actually, not a GET request, a POST request. Let me bring that a little higher up so you guys can see it. There we go. App.post slash messages and whoop, function. Wow. I don't know what's going on with me today. Request response, there it is. So we should be able to console log rec.body and see the post data coming to this request. So let's go back here, let's hit post again, and let's make sure that came through, and it did. Name and message spelled correctly, everything's good. Awesome. So we know rec.body works. So what do we want to do here? Now that we have the instance of message and the instance of comment, ooh, there it is, message, there it is. So now we can call on new instance of message, and rec.body is the object we want to create, so we can say pass in the body into it, right? Because it's just those two keys. It's the same thing as putting curly brackets there, right? Same thing. We want to set that to equal to message instance, at least that's what I'll call it, because that's what it is. And now message instance.save is a function that we call on the message instance. Even though this, when we console log it, has only like name, message, and ID, it actually has more methods inside of it that we don't see. But one of them being the save. The save, once it's done, it'll call back the first parameter. So the first parameter is a function, anonymous function in this case, and it will either give us an error or nothing. So we can say if error, do something, otherwise do something else. That's essentially what we do. Let's ignore the errors for a moment here and say, yeah, after we're done, what do we do? We just redirect, right?
Yep.
Redirect to root, but it's response.redirect to root. And by the way, we can also say return response.redirect. Return is just so we end this function call. That's the purpose of putting the return there. It's good practice, from what I understand, from what I've looked up. Cool, so let's see if this worked. Let's go back. And let's put winning, winning. Post message, that may have worked, we're not sure, so we're going to go to a terminal and go to not Mongo, but Mongo, and make sure that's on there. So dbs, show dbs, db, oops, use MessageBoard schema, db.getCollection names, db.messages.find all of them. There it is. So winning is working. It's on there, and we have his ID. So cool, we have it. Affirmations. You know. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Don't take me too seriously on this stuff. So do you have two messages on there? That's enough for me to just kind of print them in my page so I can see them visually. So that's what we'll do next, if that's okay with you all. We'll go to this page here and just repeat the messages. We know from here to here we need that to be repeated. So we can repeat here. We need a for loop here. Let's back up for a moment. For me to get data here from my server.js file, we need to do what?
Pass it a variable.
That's right. We need to pass it, but we need to first, grab it and then pass it again. So find us all the records, callback function, give me either errors or records, and let's move. Whoa. Let's move this render inside of the find method. After it's done finding it, then it runs this code, and then we want to do this. We can put return response.render index, and we can pass in the object of messages to have the records inside of it. So in this page, nothing blew up. That's awesome. Let's go to index here, and first off, let's make sure it works. Let's not do a bunch of work when we don't even know that part is working yet. Messages, print, there it is. Messages are working. We got to this point, so we know that variable is working. So now we can do our, I wish it was a shortcut for this, honestly. Our for loop, right? For index in messages. By the way, we could just do a for loop, right? We could just do for var I is equal to 0, right? But this is just another way to do it. That's
Do you ever run into, one of the things I found is if I do a for in loop, it'll do something for like each method, even the stuff we can't see. that are attached to that
I
object.
had a problem when I tried to get to my comments, and then I didn't actually
Yeah,
did the for
yeah,
loop, and then
that
it worked.
that's what happened
So
to
I
me.
don't know why.
And then I did a regular for loop and it worked fine.
Interesting. Oh, because the regular for loop won't even run. I think this still. Does it still run? I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that question. But check this out. So we know that this whole block needs to be repeated multiple times. So I'm going to take my closing for tag and put it way down over here. And what is this? Oh, that's right. There it is. And I know that the print tags have to go between it. And this is horrible spacing, so let's fix the spacing. There we go. Let's make sure that block of code is being repeated as many times as it should. And it needs to be repeated twice because I have 2 messages. If I have a third one, there it is, the third one. Cool. So we know that the loop's working correctly. So now we can just replace this little part here with the actual messages of index dot name. Should be right, name. Yep. Did we choose HDF as the name? Oh, sort of winning. There it is. Winner
Sort of winning.
and win. Cool. So
Winning, sort of winning.
oh, that's true. There's no such thing, right? Message should go there. And that's it. So there it is. Those are showing. We haven't done the comments yet, but that's fine. But we can show the messages, and that's enough. Wait, is that it? Right? That's it for that? Okay, so we just do comments now, and then we connect them together so that messages are comments. Cool. All right. In this for loop, in this form, do we need anything to bring with us? So like if we're executing this post, that says message, that's not good. Right, we need some kind of identifier for which message this comment belongs to. So we could do a hidden input, I don't see why not. Input, type hidden, name ID or message ID to be a little more specific, and value is going to equal to the print tags of underscore ID, because this is going to be the ID of the Mongo record for the message, right? So let's make sure that's working. Right click, inspect elements. Looking good. Just kidding. Where is it? There it is. Right on.
Is there any other way you would do this besides a hidden input?
Pass it in the
And
URL.
besides passing in the URL, is there any other?
Not without Angular or other kind of
Other
front-end
frameworks.
frameworks. Yeah. Yep. Cool. So that's good to go. Now let's add a comment and make sure the comment saves on top or saves in link with the message. So first off, let's make sure that this form is going to post to /comments as a post request. So if I should be able to hit post comment, there it is. Cannot go to /comments. So let's get the server to expect a post of comments indeed. Function regress, and let's double check that the content is coming through the post data. So request.body is going to give me all the post data. That should work, but we're not sure. So we're going to go back here and type in some new stuff. Click comment. Let's look at our server and whoops, wrong tab. There it is. So message ID came through, name came through, comment came through, so we're good on that. So we know that's working. So this is where we have to create a new instance of comment and save this message onto the comment. So copy paste, and we're done. Just kidding. So well, it's the same thing, right? It's a comment. We're pushing it to the comment, the message ID. But here's the thing: we can do two things. Well, let's not talk about security. But right now, we have a key called message_ID that's being posted to our server. And so if we want to do this little neat trick where we can just pass the actual object in, we have to make sure that the comment database key is message ID, and it is. That's cool. I guess that makes sense, right? So it is there. So this is supposed to be now comment instance. New instance of comment called comment instance. This is an instance of the comment class after being passed into the parameters. Comment instance.save, so we can save this instance. So this is what we have to kind of keep in consideration now and kind of talk about for a moment. the message, the comment is going to have inside of it a message ID. Do you guys just use type string for this? I think that will work, right?
Yeah.
I think there's two ways you can do it. One way is like a very long, complicated way, and the other one is a very short, easy, simple way to do it. So we'll try this to make sure this will work. If it works like this, that'll be awesome. But we don't really need require trim true. I mean, maybe. I mean, if somebody tried to like maliciously like affect us, then we wouldn't need it. But it's always going to be there. Whatever. Let's leave it on there. All right, cool. So let's leave it on there. So let's see if we can post a comment and see if the database has the comment with the message ID inside of it, right? So let's go back, refresh. First comment. That did something. Let's go to Mongo and let's look at comments. Actually, let's look at messages. Everything's the same there. Let's look at comments. And it just put the string on there. So that's not what we want, right? We want the object ID to be in that little tab there. And also, shouldn't that message ID be an array? No, it should be an array. Because it's a one-to-one, right? No, it's a one-to-many. It should be an ID. It should be an array, right? Yeah. So the message ID should actually have an array of IDs. And each of these IDs, they don't have to be just, they shouldn't just be just strings. They should actually be object IDs that we are storing inside of them. Or at least they should be in this order. I think you have to have them that way to use the populate and execute method, right? So bear with me for a second here. Let's make sure that the message ID type string here. Can you give me the dot type dot object ID? The types dot object ID. Let's try this again and test it.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh yeah, there it works. Thank you for that. I got fixed. And what did you say?
For populating, I don't know if we need to put a reference to the collection name.
Yes, we do.
The collection ID.
Yeah. I wanted to show that here actually. Where is it under associations?
That's associations, yeah.
Cool. So this is what we just did. That's what we do. We put brackets around the comments. So we put that kind of. This is kind of like the setup of it to say if we want comments to be an array of comments for that one, we do need to do that. So let's go back to our code real quick. What we have here are the comment ID, or actually,
That was your message schema that you were just looking at.
Oh, that's right.
Because you want it to be an array.
That's right. So the message has inside of it all these comments. So we're doing it kind of opposite here, aren't we? We're having the comment hold in at the message ID. We should have done the other way around. Right. Cool.
Well, you want, don't you want,
You still want a
the comment
reference.
to have the message ID?
Yeah.
But that should be
You
an
want
array.
the array to be in the post. You want the post to have an array of comment IDs. And then you want each comment to have
Yeah,
just the post ID.
in the
Oh,
comment
yes,
schema,
you're right.
it doesn't have to be an array. In the message schema, you want
Right.
it to be
Right. So the message schema, we need to add something, right?
yeah, comments.
Which is comments, right? Good call. So that's an array, which is inside of it objects, the type of
Mongoose.schema.
that long thing. Yeah, mongoose.schema, the types.object.id, and comma, reference, and then this is I think single singular lowercase, right? Is it?
Oh yeah, singular uppercase.
Initial caps.
Yeah.
Initial caps, comment. So this is referring to which table is going to be referenced from. So this is what's linking these two together essentially, right? What is missing here? Oh, that's missing. That should be back there. Cool. All right. Any questions on that? Because we kind of like went back and forth on it.
On the comment schema, we were told to do an underscore before, like where you have message ID colon. We were told to do underscore and then the name of
Yeah.
the name of the collection, I think. So it would be underscore capital M and then message.
Like this?
Yeah. Because that's how we were told we were.
Yeah, how it's supposed to link to
Yeah.
that message schema.
Right.
That means we have to change our. It means we have to change things. So let's see. That is for the comment post. So in the comment post, we have to change that to underscore message. Cool.
Yeah.
We'll do the same thing. Okay, let's try again. Let's try adding one by one so we know where we're at. So let's go back here. Let's refresh the page. Oops. Maybe no comma before that. Let's line 19 server.js. All right. So message, post a new message. Let's take a look. That should have pretty much no change really, except for the pattern, I guess. Name, message, and has no comments in the message. Cool, so that's good. And now let's add a comment for that particular one we just added, the very last one. Oh, is it the very first one? Very last, the very last one. A, B, C, E, F, G. I'm just kidding. So we'll stop right there. And post. And now we have comments added in a database. So let's check the comments. So there is the ID of the message for the comment. And let's check the message again. Ooh, that did not go in there.
Do we have the reference to the message in that? Yeah, when you're referencing
There
the
you go.
message.
I think it's underscore.
I use lowercase.
So it doesn't matter.
Whatever
essentially?
is named.
Okay, let's try this again. Oops, I did it in the wrong one, right? Just a second.
You get to change delete types out of object ID.
Delete types.
Go to the comment schema.
Mhm.
It's Mongoose schema, no types, just object ID.
No, that's okay. That
I don't have that either. It's just schema.object.ID.
So let's confirm a couple things. So we are assuming that this key is getting to this point, right here. So let's take a look to see. Message does get to that point. Message is getting set. Message is a string. The comment is working fine. There's no issues with the comment, right? But the message does not include the comments.
Just
So
time them together.
Mhm.
So it's got to be. It's just the syntax of how we're writing
the save method.
and that's what Cedric was just saying, that you don't need, if you go up to the comment schema where it says mongoose schema.types, you don't need .types there. It's just schema.object.id.
Yeah.
Really?
Push the comment.
Oh, push into the array.
Yeah, the comment.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Good call. No, we didn't.
Yeah, that's
Is it after we save? Essentially,
Yeah,
we do it right here,
save,
right?
That's what it's created.
Yeah. So, is that right? You have to actually find the message now? I don't remember that. So we're going to find a. Just let me double check something real quick.
I pushed my comments before I saved it, and it worked.
You did what? You-
I pushed it before I saved it. Before I saved the comment.
Yeah.
Because you're just
I did message find one before we saved the comment, and then because we
Yes.
took that message ID with us from the form.
So does it matter which way you do it?
I doubt it.
So let's find the one ID, and we know that rec.body has the message ID under rec.body dot underscore capital message ID, right? And that should give us. Ooh, actually, we need to find an update, right? Right, find one and update.
I just did a find and then took its attribute, the comments attribute, and pushed into it.
And that saved it?
It did save it.
Yeah.
That sounds odd. Let's do find one and update. Doesn't seem like it should work.
It doesn't push
What?
like automatically save the view of it.
I think it's save it.
Just logically doesn't seem
Oh,
like
I
it should
did do
work.
a message save.
I just save
Do a
it.
comment
Oh, you do
and
save.
then a
Okay,
message
that makes
save
sense.
within it,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
So if you find an update, you can save.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So find one. Let's find the record. Error first, record second. Let's console log the record and make sure we're there. Let's not save anything. So that's when we post a comment. So let's go here, let's post a comment. Let's post, let's take a look. There it is. There's the message that we're grabbing, and there's a comment that we're about to be saving. Okay. Oops. Which? Okay, hold on a second. I'm getting confused here. Comments, right? So message record.comments,
Record.comments.push.
and we're pushing into it the ID of this comment instance, right?
Yes.
And then we're doing comment save.
Then starting with comment save, yeah. And then after that, within that message save.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But so if we'd done update and save or find an update,
We could do it on one line.
and we could do it on one line, but we would still have to save the comment.
Yes,
Right?
and we still do. Because just by doing the, wait, the push is the one that saves it, or record.save is the one that saves it?
The save.save is
Record.save, right? So this has a callback function. And inside of this callback function, we do this.
Okay.
Is that right?
And you can flip it as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to find it and push to it. Yeah. Let's give this a shot. Oops, we need to do the last one. So let's see, Mongo. Let's look at our comments. This is the comment we added. It's got the ID of the thing it belongs to. Let's look at messages, and there we go. So let's add another one to the very last one. And there they are. Cool. Awesome. Well done, guys. But half our records are kind of messed up right now.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. So if this is redirecting back to the same page, so we should be able to see them. So we have at least comments inside of messages. The question now is, how do we populate all the messages and comments in one object so that we can iterate through that one object, right? So message.find, all of them is a way to do it. Well, just to find that one message, but we would say find the messages dot populate the comments. Is it comment singular? I did name it
Lowercase, yeah.
name it capital comment. So wouldn't that be the same?
It's populate
Oh,
the,
right.
It's the field.
the
That's right.
attribute of
That's
the
right.
object.
That's right. Good call. Comment and then dot.
Comments. Then we name it comments.
Yep. Good call. So we're looking at this right here, right? Key. pushing? Oh. Thumbs up. And it's execute, right? Exec, is that what it was? I forgot. Is it is exec? All right. Cool. And that gives us a function, and that gives us error and records, correct?
Yeah.
So usually we see this kind of like find, populate, execute.
What is populate just is that's a Mongo.
Absolutely, Mongoose. It's a Mongoose command, and it is just looking at the messages and looking for any comments that it can populate inside of that array of comments. So let's see them kind of in the raw here. Let's just print all of the messages. These are all the messages with all the comments. So if we put comments here, there's like the string of comments. So they're kind of together now. So this will still work so far, but we have to change it so that in here we would put that particular message as comments. But we have to have this block right here repeated for every one comment. So we know that inside of messages of index dot comments, this should be an array, but let's just make sure. It's not an array. Oh, because for some it doesn't exist. Is that right?
Yeah, we have any comments for
You have message. You want messages.
Ah, maybe that's it. Yeah, I guess that was it. Yes, because otherwise it just skip them. So we know that this is an array, so we know that if we were to run a for loop for index in this thing,
And would
which
that
is
have a problem if you had the same as the other for loop,
Yeah, we could.
or is it different for a foreign loop?
I don't know. Can we put a var in front of that, or is that already? I don't know. We figure it out. Let's try it out. So let's just get it working, and then we'll test it. So we'll put x for index here in messages.index in messages index comments, and here we should have a opening curly bracket. I mean, curly bracket. That should populate up to here. So this is a closing curly bracket, which means that these two tab over. If I could just kind of zoom out a little bit so we can see it better. You can, or is it automatic? Oh, you can. Awesome. So you can make it local within this for loop. You can. Interesting. Didn't know that. So then we can call on this whole thing and print. So bear with me on this one for a moment. We are going to say, let's print this particular messages index. Let's say, so right now on messages of 0 index dot comments, which is an array of index, part of that array, which is, let's say, 0 dot comment or name in this case, yeah, name. So that should print us the name for that one.
Cool.
Did we just not put names in there, or what's the deal? Oh, I put index.
No, that's right. I think it was showing up.
Showing up way too many.
Yeah, so this is the problem.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
I had a
this is
problem
what
I
I
think
ran
with
into
this
as well.
problem where it's like it thinks there's more. I don't know what it's getting, but with the for in loop, there's like extra things that loops through. If you do a typical for loop with like for
Var I equals
var
0.
index equals 0, index is less than messages, index dot comments dot length.
Like if right now you
Yeah,
just,
it's weird that would
right now
happen.
if you printed out just index double x, you can see how many things there are. Yeah.
But for each does not have that problem.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah. For each works totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like $sign,
Oh.
like register, like what is that?
These are all other parts of that object. So messages of index of dot comments.
Jane was saying each ignores that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah. So as opposed to the for loop, we'll do a for each. I mean a for the regular for loop, right?
No, I use
We-
for each, but
We can do for each.
whatever works.
That's fine. That's fine. For each comment, is it comment in comments?
Sometimes it's funny. It's comments dot for capital E.
Comments in comments?
No, from the very beginning, you would say comments with an S.
Yeah.
Dot for each. To make them.
That doesn't seem.
No, from the very
Outside
beginning.
of
You
the
erase that whole line.
Yeah, erase. Yeah.
And then it would be, yeah, and it would be comments dot for each. Starting from the very beginning of that line. No. Sorry.
Gotta erase the message.
I give up, guys. Just kidding. What is it again?
Apologies.
No. You don't.
It may simplify it somewhat because in the messages one, you could actually start there and say messages dot for each. And it would be like function message. And if you call it message from then on, return every message.
Sorry, I'm not.
Get over there and do it, James.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Excuse me for being rude. So if you have this kind of thing, it's a little bit easier. So you'll call the name of the array, and then you'll give it a name to work off of.
Oh, I see.
But then that's a little bit
Messages
easier in the
function
next
message.
loop because then it becomes just message.comments.
I see.
Messages and next. There's no dot between comments and for each. Is there? Oh yes, there is.
Missing the end function.
That should work. Yeah.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
This is a new one for me. I haven't seen this before. Anybody else do this like that? Okay, that's cool. That's something new to check out. That's awesome. Message. Let's print message. Let's forget about all of this. Let's forget about this.
Missing the end function.
Okay.
Who's teaching who?
Yeah. I'm missing what?
Function.
Thanks, Ryan.
Right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That work for you?
We're gonna do a for each loop,
Yeah, that works.
or just basically for each loop. We'll come back to the other one. No, we will. I want to know what was wrong with that one. Oops. So let's see. We're gonna do the print tags of message any comments of index. Oh, that might have been the issue. I forgot about this little guy down here. Oops. That was probably it, yeah. It's okay, we'll put that back later. So that is working now. Cool. So index dot name, you said? And this one is dot comment. This thing should be brought here. And we're going to cut out that for a second. And these should be tapped over. This should be brought back to this. Whoa. That should go there. What is it? Alright. Cool. Some of these won't work because we didn't.
You gotta remove all of them.
Yeah, we have to remove all of them. Yeah. Cool. So how do we remove all of them? By the way, do you guys remember?
You should just drop.
db.drop. Is it?
db.mode or whatever it's called.
What's it?
Well, it's just db dot whatever your collection is dot remove.
And then you, yeah, probably see.
Oh, just deleting them all
And then
one by
you-
one.
You put in you put an empty object in there. don't
Do you have to? I think. Yeah, you are correct. Or not quite that, but that. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, because we had the require thing on it. Cool. All right, let's